Welcome to episode 6 of the Sports Card Talk Show. I'm Kevin. This is Lauren.
What's up, guys? Today's episode, I'm just super jacked that Kevin's letting me do this. And we're actually going to do a series of these for all 32 teams in the NFL, and it's a series called Monday's Mount Rushmore. And today we're starting with probably the team that has the nicest collection of members of the Mount Rushmore series, the Minnesota Vikings.
Right.
We're
not biased at all.
No, not at all. No, I'm not. I'm just looking at all these great Vikings, and it's that we have in front of us, and we could make 3 Mount Rushmores out of these guys.
Easy.
To tell you the truth.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'll start with a few guys that aren't going to make our Mount Rushmore.
Sure.
We got Ron Yari here, Hall of Famer. We have Carl Eller, Hall of Famer.
And these are the ones that aren't making it.
These guys ain't not making my Mount Rushmore, man.
All right.
We've got John Randall here. He's not making my Mount Rushmore. Whoopsie.
Here, I'll send it a little bit. There you go.
And then Randall McDaniel. It's not going to make my Mount Rushmore.
I was looking up a few players, and both those guys popped up as top 4 in a couple of different things.
Randall McDaniels is like considered one of the greatest guards in the history of the NFL. It's really hard for me not to put him on my Mount Rushmore. All these guys, man.
I really liked looking up Randall's story too. I read that little bio.
Oh,
I know you've told me before too, but
he's got an amazing. I mean, he was a walk-on player.
Yeah.
They told him that he needed to put on weight, and he wraps chains around him to make weight. And, he's just and anybody who grew up watching that generation of football, and John Randall was just a fun guy to watch too. Mm-hmm. He had a unending motor. I don't know how to describe that, but
right.
Yeah, he just and then oh gosh, yeah, he's none of these guys are making my Mount Rushmore.
Nice. I know when we talked about this, we said that there obviously could be lots of variations and different ideas and different thoughts. And so I thought it'd be kind of fun to reach out to my father-in-law, who obviously has watched a little bit more football than maybe we have. And some of the older players that one of them I didn't even really know his name. I mean, I guess I knew it, but didn't know much about him. So these are the 4 that he had said. And I think one of them is going to overlap, right?
I believe so. I'm looking at the cards that you have in front of you, and
is right? That's the only one. Okay.
Yep.
I'll leave him for last because then he can stay up. All right.
Yep.
So the ones that he said was one of them was Chris Carter. You got one of him
right in front. I got all your guys right in front of you, dude.
Yeah. Well, you were more on it than I was. I was setting up, so. So he said Chris Carter, and I should probably say that he was basing it on individual stats. He considered years with the team and importance to the team's success. So that was kind of what he thought about when he was coming up with the list.
It was very, very hard for me to keep Chris Carter off that list.
For sure.
Growing up, Chris Carter was like one of my most favorite players. I mean, you watch the Odell Beckham catch.
Yeah.
Chris, I don't know that Chris had one of those signature catches in his career, just unbelievable, mind-blowing ESPN highlight. Right. But Chris Carter had a lot of similar catches like
Wasn't
that.
He like the king of getting his feet down?
Oh yeah, every single game. He was a magician on the sidelines. He didn't drop. If it was around him, he caught it. And when he retired, I believe he was number 2 only to Jerry Rice and several wide receiver stats. Mm-hmm. Just a absolutely amazing player. Super, just a hell of a lot of fun to watch. When we were growing up.
So his next player that he had is Paul Krause. here.
He's another guy that should be on a Mount Rushmore, man.
Yep.
Totally. I think he's set and still holds the rookie record for interceptions with 12.
Yeah, with 12. And the all-time leader with 81.
He never slowed down after his rookie year.
No, yeah.
Finished his career with 81.
Yeah.
And just put that in perspective, I actually was blown away that Ed Reed just got elected in the Hall of Fame. And I was like, holy cow, Ed Reed had 65 interceptions. I really didn't think anybody would even come close to, I mean, that's still probably 2-3 more seasons worth of playing football to get to 80,
at a high
81
level,
at a high level. Yeah. So
yeah.
I really feel like that 81 interceptions is kind of like Joe DiMaggio's 57 game hitting streak. It's never going to be touched, I don't think.
Right.
Yeah, he should be on.
And he was with the Vikings for 12 years, you know. And Carter was with the Eagles for 3, Vikings for 12. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, these guys played an unbelievably long time, and played at a very consistent and high level for so long. Chris Carter, I think, holds several records for. And I don't know what they are exactly, but Chris Carter kind of started off slow, and then he had just a long stretch of like 1,000-yard seasons, a certain number of catches, touchdowns, and he would just consistently.
Yeah, I think he was only second to Jerry Rice in this certain amount, for a number of years in a row for catches and receiving yards or something.
Yeah. Chris is.
That's awesome.
Should be on the Mount Rushmore. He should be on the Mount Rushmore.
This is the one that I think I might have heard his name, but I didn't know a whole lot about him. But Mick Tingelhoff. And it's funny because I shouldn't be surprised that you have a card of him.
Yeah.
But I am a little surprised. But I didn't know a whole lot about him, but he was a center, and he played from 62 to 78 and didn't miss a game. But he's a center, so when you look at his stats, you know...
It's games and games started, right?
Games started,
And
but 62 to 78 and didn't miss a game.
Put
that into perspective.
I know.
Wow.
It's and I mean he's I don't know how many Vikings actually played in all 4 Super Bowls, but obviously Mick did.
Yep.
So lifetime Viking. Honestly, the only Viking player to play his whole career, or a Hall of Fame Viking that played his whole career with the purple. So
nice.
He should be on the Mount Rushmore, man. He should be on my Mount Rushmore.
And I think this is where the next player will be on the Mount Rushmore. He's going to stay up on the next string of cards.
Yep.
So I'll mention him. I think you have a couple of his cards, so I'll let you pick the one you want to put on.
I actually want to put... I'll put on mine. I'll actually put on mine. This is his rookie card. Alan Page, man. He's he obviously overlapped with me and your father-in-law, and Alan Page was just dominating and the anchor to. It's hard to say the anchor because there were so many great defensive ends on on that, or defensive linemen on those 1970s Vikings, but ended up winning the defense, one of only 2 players to win the MVP for the league, along with Lawrence Taylor, who some consider like the greatest defensive player of all time. Alan Page is right there in his company.
Right.
I wish I would have wrote down some of his stats, but so many of the stats back in those days are unofficial. So
Let's take these other ones down. Get you ready.
Yeah, Alan Page though, and then on top of that, Alan Page. I mean, after he went to Notre Dame for college and graduated Notre Dame. Got drafted by the Vikings. Came and played with the Vikings, and while he was playing with the Vikings, he continued to go to school and get a degree a law degree, and is he still currently serving as one of our
I think so, yeah.
state of Minnesota Supreme Justices.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, and he has so many. He does so many other things in the community.
Right. In
Just
his little bio, it said that he did attend school, but it didn't affect him on the plane. It didn't appear to affect him on the playing field at all.
No.
So yeah, juggling a lot,
Yeah, he's just an amazing person. On top of being our first member of our Mount Rushmore here.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah.
Let's jump into number 2 that you have.
Number 2, I'm gonna go with another old schooler, I guess, and that's good old Franny Tarkenton. And he played his first few years as a Viking, and then played a few years with the Giants, and then came back to the Vikings and quarterbacked the Vikings to our last 3 Super Bowls. Losses, I'll say that too.
That was hard to spit out.
Yeah, it is. But also the only Super Bowls that we went to were the one prior to that, and those 3. Alan Page played on all 4 of our Super Bowl appearances, or the Vikings Super Bowl appearances, our Super Bowl appearances.
Right.
And the funny thing is that I wasn't old enough to appreciate any of those Viking teams.
No. And I grew up at, I wasn't old enough, but then when I played basketball. Like, actually, until you and Curly asked me to play fantasy football, that wasn't on my radar either. I'll admit. I mean, what was it, 2002 maybe?
Yeah.
That you guys somehow wrangled me into playing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you realize what you've been missing, man.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
And I don't even know that I so much. I like football, but the fantasy aspect, it just, brought me in.
Yeah.
So so Fran and
Fran
Alan so far.
But when Fran retired, he held pretty much every significant passing record and rushing record. Like he these were records that were held until Dan Marino broke it, and since then it seems like every couple of years a new old quarterback is just blowing by Fran and Dan. Fran and Dan. And then the rushing record, this guy's a little white dude running around. Mm-hmm. And he actually he retired with a whole bunch of rushing yards, but if you watch highlights of him, if you talk about his what next gen stats, he's running all over behind the line of scrimmage until someone comes open. So, and Fran was just a player before his time, really.
Sure. So who's next?
Next, we got to go with good old Randy Moss. And even though Randy didn't play, I'd say he played most. The team he spent the most time with was the Vikings. I think he had close to 100 touchdowns with the Vikings as a wide receiver, which is just not far behind Chris Carter, who played his whole career with them. You looking up those stats for me, man?
Yeah, 8 years in Minnesota.
Yeah, 8 years.
And what did you want to know? How many touchdowns?
Yeah, how many touchdowns?
92
career touchdowns with the Minnesota Vikings.
Yep.
Yeah. Just everybody knows who Randy Moss
right.
is. He was the Michael Jordan of football whenever he hit. And they still say, like, wide receivers today use the expression, "you just got mossed." That's why I had to pick Randy Moss for my Mount Rushmore, just because of his impact on the NFL when he came in. Right away the next year, the Green Bay Packers were drafting, they drafted 2-3 cornerbacks just because they were like, Randy Moss, just that first season alone was so magical.
Yeah.
Probably one of my most memorable seasons, the 98 season.
Right.
15-1. We were going to win the Super Bowl.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda, man.
Yep. It's actually probably the one season that broke my heart the most. Mm-hmm. Maybe caused me to quit sipping the purple Kool-Aid a little bit, because Yeah, it was devastating.
I think we're back onto the purple Kool-Aid a little bit.
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
Good old Zim got me back on the Kool-Aid.
Let's jump into
my last guy, and then he's the most current Viking that's just an all-time great, is AP. He's by far and away, I think, the best running back in Minnesota history. And we've had some really good running backs in the history of the Minnesota Vikings. Robert Smith. I believe I got a Chuck Foreman down here maybe somewhere.
Yeah, I think I saw one. Either way.
Yeah, right here. Good old Chuck Foreman. Chuck Foreman, the original Marshall Falk. Yeah, I mean, Chuck Foreman is another guy that isn't making my Mount Rushmore, but oh man, AP. I'm thinking it was a season 2012 where he basically put the Vikings on his back and carried us all the way into the playoffs. Had a 2,000-yard season.
Mm-hmm.
Caused Clay Matthews to say prior to a matchup with them, AP isn't going to get 200 yards against us. It was just, oh man, he just, that season was just, everybody was riding on AP's back. And this was right after he came back from ACL injury.
Yeah.
And he started out the season slow. If he didn't have that ACL, who knows, he might have had a 2,500-yard season. Because he did that all in like the last 10 games of the season, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's another team. And then, I mean, it's all downhill from here, man. Our Mount Rushmores are all downhill from here. Because
speaking of the rest, we're going to stay in this division.
Yeah. So, I mean, next week, I think we'll probably touch on.
We'll pick somebody.
We'll okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, well.
You got
to be determined.
Yeah, there's 3 teams there you can pick from. So.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude. Yeah.
So I
love talking about my Vikings. So.
Right.
I was really
excited. You can bring the enthusiasm for the next teams.
Oh yeah, we'll try.
Oh, too funny. So maybe we'll jump into a little mail time.
Yeah. It's mail time here.
Yeah.
If this segment didn't run too long.
No, I think it's good.
All right.
We'll jump into it.
All right,
let's jump into it.
Okay, let's get into some mail here. I got a couple white envelopes, plain white envelopes to open up, and a couple other packages as well. We'll start with one of the biggies, one of the bubble wraps envelopes. Okay. This I bought as just a lot, and I think I got it for the opening bid. But Anthony Barr, Contenders rookie card, and Jerick McKinnon, both together for like just a few bucks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I mean, Jet is not a Viking anymore.
No,
but he's once a Viking, always a Viking.
Right.
So yeah, that was a nice little lot to pick up for me.
Nice. I'm hoping he can come back from that knee injury.
Yeah, I know.
He's having a little setback right now, but
it's kind of crazy because I mean, what's going to go on with San Francisco's running game this year? Is it Tevin Coleman? Is it Jerick? Or is it one of those
Wilson?
Yeah, they got like how many other guys on their team that ran the ball last year?
Mostert or
yeah. Okay, let's get into one of these plain whites now.
Alrighty.
Oh, yeah, this is a nice card too. Got a draft picks Prism Danielle Hunter auto.
Oh yeah.
And that is numbered 12 out of 75. Yeah. And you know how I feel about Danielle.
Yes.
Definitely. I recalled it, but yeah, he's bound for the Hall of Fame. Take care of this other plain white envelope too.
Sounds good.
Oh, have we had a mail time yet without a Teddy Bridgewater, man?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think he's
either.
going to make an appearance on most episodes.
Yeah. This is the like silver prism parallel.
Oh, sure.
It's not the base, and actually the prism. There's a lot of different like variations to the card too, where he's facing you and stuff like that. But yeah,
Sure.
I got this for just real good bargain on that card.
Nice.
Yeah, maybe I didn't get that card I was hoping to get today. Oh no, here it is. Yeah, I think this one's it's out of 10, I believe. Yeah, 7 out of 10.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Everson.
Yeah, Everson.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I mean his stuff does not show up on eBay that often. So
Is that Crown Royal?
yeah, Crown Royal rookie card auto. I love this die cut card going back into the 90s.
Yeah.
So. Okay, and our last package today. Oh, sweet. I wasn't expecting this one too. Select Adam Thielen. What's cool about this card is it is 19 out of 25. It's jersey number. Yeah.
That's the tie-dye, right?
Yeah, the tie-dye.
Yeah.
And my only complaint on this card is I wish it would have been at least two colors,
Right.
Out of 25 should have 2 colors.
Yes, I think so.
But yeah, Adam Thielen, 19 out of 25. I'm not complaining.
Not at all.
I guess I was, but yeah.
It almost checked all the boxes.
Yeah, almost. Yep. Almost all the boxes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for this episode of Mail Time. Hope you enjoyed.
All right, well, that's going to bring another episode to a conclusion here. And as we always end the show, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and comment below which color grab bag you might be interested in. We have purple, blue, or black. Again, comment below which color you might like. We'll put you in a drawing, and we'll get the package out as soon as we draw. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Next time, guys.